The Sean Show, episode 26. Welcome back. It's The Sean Show. It's the greatest show. How is everybody doing? I know it's late night for the US. We just had a pretty good game. Chargers versus the Ravens, or should I say Ravens versus the Chargers. It was good. It was great first half. The second half was a bit kind of just slow on the Chargers side. They couldn't get a whole lot going. There is a few things I want to chat about today. Anyway, let's start to get into it. Sean Show, episode 26. Let's go. Where is my agenda? There it is. All right, so we'll do the plug. We'll talk about some show updates stuff really quickly. There it is. So this is the Sean Show, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. This is currently the Tuesday show. If you're in the US, it would possibly be Monday night, probably be early Tuesday morning. So on this episode, we usually go over Monday Night Football. As I said, Ravens versus Chargers. I got to watch this game. On Friday, there's going to be Thursday Night Football should have been finished. Sorry about that. So we'll go over the review of that game. And then on the Saturday, I'm thinking of making this one more of a discussion day, or possibly Friday or something more of a discussion day. This is part of the show update section in the agenda as well. I've got a couple of ideas. I think I mentioned I want to do maybe some tier lists and stuff. I've got to get some back-end work done there, so I'm bringing you some accurate information, at least what I believe to be accurate. And then there's a couple of things that I want to talk about as well in the future. One thing is pass interference. Yesterday we did talk about the referees in regards to coaching calls, or at least coaches changing their decision on accepting or declining a penalty, like Nick Sirianni and Mike Tomlin have done in the last couple of weeks. And then we also talked about the hip drop tackle really quick, but I do want to kind of focus on PI. The calls I don't feel are getting called correctly. They basically always get to review them, and I don't think the hit rate's amazing, honestly, when we think about the context of each kind of catch and like bodies and things like that. Yeah, don't feel like they're being done well. And then I actually want to shine a light on the players, like some plays, if I can figure this out without getting doxxed. Not doxxed, without getting a copyright strike. On how some players can like either work to get PI more. I did see there was a nice battle yesterday between Puka and Isaiah Rogers. There was a couple of PIs called on both of them. There was an offensive PI called on Puka. But yeah, there's a couple of things that could have been done on either side to get more calls. I know that's a whole other discussion. But that's for the future. And then on Saturday we do our picks for fucking the Sunday night football. Sunday football, and then on Monday we review our bets and the Sunday games. Well, that's that done. Sick of doing that bit, but we've got to do it. Talked about the show update. Like I said, if there's any sections or anything you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments, man. I don't read the live chat because this is a show. It's not a stream. It's a live show, not interactive. But yeah, if there's something that you want to see me do, drop it. If you want to see a tier list, you want me to make a tier list of some sort for the NFL, drop it in. I'm looking at making possibly a strength of schedule moving forward tier list right now, which would coincide with a playoff hope percentage, etc. But I'm fumbling and mumbling now, so let's just get straight over to NFL Week 12 Monday Night Football review. So this was a pretty good game, gotta say. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. This one was a fairly good game. The first half of it was competitive. The second half, obviously not so competitive. This was a very late touchdown. Essentially, could be seen as garbage time touchdown, but if you're able to recover an onside kick, it puts you back in the game. Baltimore Ravens did fail a 2-point conversion, so they could have actually been on 31 if they just took the kick. which would have forced these guys to do the 2-point conversion. But you know, whatever, Trevor. Anyway, if they make that 2-point conversion, this game's kind of out of reach anyway. So let's get to the box score right here. Nice efficient Lamar Jackson, 16 for 22, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. No touchdowns for Justin Herbert. Then we got Derrick Henry, 140 rush yards. He was just not going down. And then Justice Hill ran a very nice touchdown in. I think that was the 51-yard. Yeah, Lamar Jackson got himself the first touchdown for the Ravens, I believe. And Justin Herbert, I think, ran in the first touchdown of the game. There's a little video there of J.K. Dobbins leaving the field. J.K. Dobbins did leave the game early, only 6 carries. I think it was somewhere in the second quarter. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. I think he's been dealing with some sort of injury recently. They did say it was a knee. I couldn't find any footage on the possible play, so I can't tell you what it was. They did say they put a knee brace on him before he went into the locker room. He did not return after halftime. Yeah. Okay, then let's have a look at this receiving side. We got Zay Flowers, 5 for 8 targets. Mark Andrews, 5 for 5, 1 touchdown. Real weird. They didn't just give Andrews the touchdown on this one. They had to review it, which was kind of weird because it was very clearly a catch when you see how everything played out. But you know, if they're gonna review shit, they're gonna review shit. Just review the right shit, please. Anyway, Lad McConkey on this side, 6-4-6. Will Disley, 4-4-4. I was hyped to see this shit. You want to see your main wide receiver and your main tight end catching everything you throw at them. These guys' connection is absolutely fucking... It's real nice. He's not in, like, every play, like most true wide receiver ones, but, man, they utilize him really, really well. And he is a rook. Justin Tucker going 1 for 1. Good to see him hit all of those. Cameron Dicker going 3 for 3 in the game. Not sure if there's a whole lot. I'll just have a look at what I wrote down here during the game. Oh yeah, there was a weird leg whip penalty at the start of this game on the Ravens, I believe. Oof. Let's have a look at that. It was really... I've never seen that penalty called before. A leg whip. See if we can find it in here. So basically, if you don't know what a leg whip penalty is, the offensive line player went down. Yeah, offensive line went down. And when he rolled on his back to get up, he kind of like his legs kind of rolled over, and he didn't touch the player, but it could have been seen as you trying to like trip the guy up. So that's what a leg whip penalty is. I never knew that was a thing. I thought if you could get them down, you could get them down as long as it wasn't a horse collar or a hip drop. But I guess if you're not on the ground, you can't try to trip someone up. I'm not even sure if that guy had the ball, so that probably plays a big part of it. But I don't see any leg whip penalty in here, which is weird because it was cold and I was like, what the fuck is this? What is a leg whip? So I was watching the game and the ref's like, leg whip. And you're like, what the hell? The camera goes on Ravens Harbour and he's like, you see him mouth like, leg whip? I'm like, what is that? So yeah, interesting one to see. Excuse me. It's not showing anything here. Either way, this was a pretty good game. Like I said, the first half was a pretty good game. The second half was a bit of a shit. Field goal, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. Kind of garbage time touchdown. And then 2 plays to end the game. So this field goal was really very nice. A couple of overthrown balls in this game for Justin Herbert as well. some deep balls. He could have completed some really good stuff. One of the wide receivers could have actually picked up a PI call. They didn't. What happened was a play was thrown downfield. Flag was thrown for defensive PI. It was at like probably the 3-yard line. And the refs had a chat about it. They reviewed it, and then they overturned it. And they said there is no penalty on the play. They pick up the flag. Now, I don't have the footage for that play. You might be able to look it up. What happens is the receiver essentially kind of gave up on the route, right? And if he'd finished the route rather than just trying to get a PI call, he would have been in a position to make a play on the ball. In which, if he doesn't catch it, then he gets the PI call. Now, this ball wasn't like extremely uncatchable. It was in their vicinity. I've seen PI's call and the ball is absolutely uncatchable, like 5 to 10 yards away from the fucking receiver, and they deem it PI when the ball is definitely not catchable. Now, they didn't say that the call was not catchable in this instance. They just kind of picked up the flag, which is interesting because if he was closer to the ball, it should have been PI. Again, just finish your out. You might catch the ball. Like, just fucking play the game. Either way, PI's been a bit of a thing. Been a bit of a thing this season as I've watched through it. From what I've got to watch, at least. And I know the catch has been a big kind of issue, especially with the Garrett Wilson 2 of the same foot down like 4 weeks ago, and then not calling it a touchdown. Whereas a knee down counts as a touchdown, and 2 separate feet count as a touchdown. But tapping the same foot down twice does not. So that was a discussion for a little while, but I think we need to talk about PI and actually getting these fucking calls right. Now I'm just rambling, so let's kind of move on. So from that leg whip penalty, the Ravens couldn't convert their third down, and they had to punt the ball. In the fourth quarter, there was no PI called. Yeah, that's it. That's right. That's what I was just talking about. That was in the fourth quarter as well. So that's kind of game changing. Because if that's a PI call, then the Chargers move up to like the 3-yard line, and they're basically in the game. I don't think they were able to convert into points on that drive, but yeah, it was a good call. The receiver pulled up way too early. If you can find the footage, please go and have a look at it. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Ladd McConkey just having a fucking baller game, but I've already touched on him. The secondary for the Ravens looked better than what it recently has, I got to say. The defensive stats that are out there kind of, I don't know. I think we need to have better stats shown to everybody. Like, I need to find out if I can locate a place that has how many offensive penalty yards given up, or at least on what, like, break it down into a percentage of, yeah, we had a holding, we had false starts, we had this, we had that. I want a breakdown of these percentages of penalties, and also for the defensive side of the ball. I think we need to see this information a bit more, because that tells a bigger kind of story of the game, and it kind of gives us a better idea. One thing something that did dawn on me, which I do want to research more into, and then possibly bring a topic or a video to you guys, is how much offensive penalties actually affect a running back's stats. Now, when you think about it, it's a fucking no-brainer, right? Your offense is getting taken backyards, which is giving you a further distance to the down line. So you're more than likely going to throw a ball, right? Now this is an ongoing effect, as if you keep doing this, then you can't really establish a run game, and then if you can't establish a run game, then you can't establish the run pass option, which opens up the rest of the field and keeps the defense on their toes. We'll look into it. The thing that kind of sparked my interest in it today was that the Green Bay Packers only gave up 40 yards of penalties, offensive penalties, yesterday, and Josh Jacobs had a fucking game. So I want to look into that deeper before I properly break that down to you guys, or at least bring some information and some statistics to it. Not sure if I want to talk about this game anymore. We can talk about what this means for both teams. So we'll just do this. Baltimore Ravens still sitting pretty above. Oh man, I didn't want to look at this. I did actually want to look at this. I'm sorry, I'm fumbling. And then the other thing that I wanted was the standings, please. So here we are at the end of week 12. Baltimore Ravens sitting second in the AFC North. This team will be going to the playoffs if everything continues to roll the way it does, whether they take the NFC North or whether they make a wild card spot. Who knows? But they'll be going to the playoffs. The other team that we're talking about is Los Angeles Chargers. They're on a run. Right now it looks like they are in a wild card seat. Let me just confirm that. They are. They are in a wild card seat. They just need to keep it going. Let's have a look at both of their schedules. So first we've got the Baltimore Ravens. This is a tough game. Very late bye week. That can be good, that can be bad. Depending on the health of your team, depending on how your team is rolling, anything can happen. I've fucking Giants, man. They should win this game, but I have seen good teams lose to bad teams after they've returned from a bye week. Just saying. We'll have a look at what the books think about that in 2 weeks. Anyway, we've got the Philly Eagles here. That's going to be a tough game. They got their bye week there. Again, they should win that game. They did lose to Pittsburgh, I believe. Yep, they lost to Pittsburgh, so this is going to be a tough game for them. They should win this game, and this is a divisional, so it will likely be a tough game again. The only 2 games they lost have been divisional rivals. Oh. I'm talking through my ass here. Forget what I just said. Either way, Baltimore Ravens are looking pretty good. They've got a couple of tough matches ahead of them. 3.5 tough matches. Depends what Houston is at this point. So that's I got to say that's a fairly strong schedule right there. Let's go to the Chargers. What do they got? Obviously they're going to have the no, they played the Ravens. They are not in the Ravens division. What am I talking about? So they've got Atlanta. That could be a tough game, depending on what Atlanta is at the moment. Kansas City, that's going to be a very tough game. Tampa's going to be a tough game. Denver's going to be a tough game. They should be able to come away at the end of the season with 2 wins, at least, to move into the playoffs with some confidence. But yeah, this is 4 tough games. That's 4 really tough games. I don't know what to say. Chargers, if something goes terribly wrong, the Chargers can miss the playoffs. But they need to both of these teams need to play their asses off in this final stretch. They have hard schedules. They have difficult schedules ahead of them. Anyway, that's that. Let's get to the next section that I wanted to talk about on the agenda today. Whoa, just gave it away. So we're talking about our some rookie wide receivers. I'm going to leave this page up because we've got to get the schedule for the week 13. So we're talking about Bub Means. We're talking about Lad McConkey. All right, so New Orleans Saints right now, this is their record. I'll go back to the standings very quickly here, just so that we can see where New Orleans is at. If we go to the NFC, they are currently not in a playoff seat, and they have 7 losses, which is very rough in the NFC right now. And they are in this division, so Tampa has to win out. I have not looked at the Falcons' schedule, and we'll have a look at the Saints' schedule right now. So this is going to be a tough game. Oh, they got a bye week next week. All right, that's good. Because we're talking about Bud Means. We're not talking about the New Orleans Saints. We're talking about this man, Bud Means, man out of Pittsburgh, I believe. Yeah, Pittsburgh College. I don't know much about college, but yeah, he's from Pittsburgh Uni. There it is, right there. He was a round 5 pick this year for the New Orleans Saints. Recently, he's been overcoming an injury. He's been on injured reserve for 4 games. I believe he was on injured reserve for these 4 games. They do have a bye week coming up, which means there is a chance that he could play against LA. Now, I watched a press conference with him today, and he said that he was back out on the field, kind of running around and competing, which is really good. I think it was maybe a high ankle sprain. Any news? Nothing here. But yeah, I think he did have a high ankle sprain or something like that. He is feeling better. The recovery time has been quicker than expected. So hopefully we'll get to see him after the bye week against the Rams. Now let's go and have a look at what he's done this season. Only 9 receptions, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. He's been, from what I've seen out of these 9 receptions, he's been a key player in moving the chains for the offense. He's done a lot. He's done quite a few out routes to keep the ball moving, to stop the clock. This man is being used situationally, and I think when he returns, they really should consider using him a bit more. Let's have a look at his game splits for this year. Only had 1 target, then he had no targets for 3 games. Doesn't look like he does any punt returning or anything. And then against Tampa Bay, he caught 5 of his 8 targets for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. 3 for 5, no tutty, 37 yards. And then 1 for 1 in the game that, oh no, he might not, alright, so that's the game. There's a good chance that he will have to come back against New York, because on injured reserve you need to be out for 4 games. So unfortunately, we might not see him for Los Angeles. We probably won't see him for Los Angeles Rams, but he'll be healthy as all shit for the Giants game. He's doing pretty quiet season so far. Can't expect a whole lot out of a 5th round pick, but I think they can utilize this guy a lot more. Let's go quickly over to his NFL draft page. Alright, so he's 6'1", good height, good arm length, nice hand. I'll use my hand as a base value. My hand is 9.6 inches, which is fairly good. 10-18 is really good. I think, like, then you get some freaks like Jarvis Landry who have like 11. You know, some real big-handed people out there. But the bigger the hand, the easier it is to secure and catch a ball. So that's nice. It's good to see that. They gave him a 5.89 draft grade. I don't care about all of this. What I really like is to look at the way these guys move. So if they've got a pro day, if they've done a combine, I want to see the way they move, just with like outside of competition, just you know, just doing drills. That way you can see their body control, you can see their locomotion, you can see if they're losing energy or if they're just kind of moving. if they're just kind of moving. I remember when DK Metcalf was in the draft, I was watching his combine highlights and I was just like, I was astounded that this dude was so big, so jacked, and he just moved so fluidly. Like, it was crazy to watch. Like, I saw him and I just said, this is a guy. Like, this is a dude. He moves different to anybody else that I'm watching today. So unfortunately, I don't really have any clips like that for Bub Means. I've just got these times here. 4.43 40 yards. Pretty good. It's okay. I'm slow, so I'm not going to talk shit. I think the fastest is like 3.37 or something maybe. So 4.43 is good. It's good. 10 yard split, 155. Pretty good. Picks up steam as he goes. Vertical jump of 39.5. That's all right. Broad jump of 10 feet and bench prep of 19 reps. He didn't do a 3-cone drill. Did not do a 3-cone drill. Yeah, these 19. I think 19 reps for a receiver is quite a lot, I want to say. Broad jump. I don't know too much about these two statistics. I'm more so about these 3 sections. But yeah, like, he's a good pick for a 5th round. That's a good pickup right there. With these tangibles, this height, this weight, that speed, solid 5th round pickup. Let's have a look at his draft tape actually. Now let's hope I don't get fucking doxed or anything for this. Boom, straight up. Bub Means just running the ball, running away from the defender. It's pretty good. No really great highlight. That's much better. Good strong hands. Escapes the pressure. Quarterback throws him open. He's able to keep up speed and make it. Nice. Okay, goodness. Good speed. Stop and start speed right there. Let's have a look here. Locates the ball, gets it, stays in bounds, gets the tud. Don't get to see the start of this route at all. These are supposed to be Bub Means highlights. Okay, cool. He caught the ball. Did not get to see the route at all. And there he is again. This is not a great highlight tape, I gotta say. For a draft tape, ACC Digital kind of did him dirty. Nah, man. We're not... You should have a whole lot of tape from all kinds of angles. You show me the plays as they're shown on TV. I want to see the back copy. I want to see the side copy. I want to see how this dude moves. That was not really very good. I'm sorry, Bub Means. ACC Digital, I feel like they did you a bit of a dirty there. But yeah, keep an eye out for Bub Means, man. Keep an eye out for this dude. Hopefully they utilize him a bit more. Let's go to the depth chart. He is on injured reserve right there, but I think he generally kind of squeezes in when Chris Olave is not in. Don't think is he on the special teams? Yeah. Not returning or anything like that. Hopefully he gets a big upswing when he does return. This is an interesting team. We'll keep an eye on them. Third in the NFC South though. I'm not going to look at their playoff hopes. I think I probably already did. Alright, let's move over to Lad McConkey. This guy. I had images for these dudes. That's Bub Means. That's the press conference that I was watching today where he said he was back out on the field and feeling good. And then we're going to talk about Lad McConkey, man out of Georgia. Let's have a look at his current season. He was a 2nd round pick for the Los Angeles Chargers. 43 receptions, 615 yards, 14 touchdowns. Now, where I don't think the stats are up for today, but he obviously had 6 for 6 today. Yep, there it is now. He's got 6 for 6 today. 83 yards. 6 for 9, 2 for 2, 5 for 7, 6 for 6. There's a connection with Herbert is being created. I think it's being realized by Harbour as well. So expect this guy's targets to just start going up. Him and Will Dissly, I feel like today they kind of carried the offense. J.K. Dobbins, questionable. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's going to be good. Gus Edwards did a great job replacing him. Matt McConkey's listed as WR1 though. And then Will Dissly, yeah. Like, it's crazy that he's listed as WR1. He's, like, a lot of the times that I saw him, he was on the sideline after a big play. It's like, don't you normally just get back in and get back to it? I don't know. They're utilizing him all right. I didn't realize that he was on McAfee's show. I'll have to probably check that out. Didn't know about him at the time. 111 yards, 123 yards. He's cracked 100 twice in his rookie season. That's pretty good. 2 touchdowns against New Orleans. Keep an eye out for this guy. Let's have a look at his draft stock here. So we got, will become a good starter within 2 years. That's why I don't listen to this shit. I don't listen to this shit. And I definitely don't listen to this shit. Like, all we need is these numbers and these numbers and some footage on how they move. Maybe some footage of their actual routes and stuff in game as well, but this is what I base my looks off. So 6 foot, okay height. Bub Means was 6'1", 186 pounds. He's still young. He's probably going to put on some poundage as he goes. Shorter arms than Bub. Yeah. And compared to my hand, smaller hand span. So these intangibles, these two don't look the greatest to me. This one can change with time as he becomes a pure wide receiver one, chunks on that muscle, because soon he's going to have to be taking on double coverage, which means he's going to have to power through at least the first guy. So he's going to have to pick this up. I think in the off season we'll see that go up. If he's catching the ball, hand size is good. Hand size is better if you're going to do one-handed grabs. But I don't think that's what we're really going to see out of this guy. We're just going to see a lot of just fucking good, solid catches. Would like the arms to be larger, but not everyone's made equal. All right, 4.39, really fast. That's pretty fucking quick. 1.52 split. Vertical jump, broad jump. I feel like these are fairly similar to Bub. And then 13 reps at much less than Bub there. This is really good. Didn't do a 3-cone. Are people not doing 3 cones? Either way, we'll have to look at the Chargers season. I think we did. Yeah, they've got a fairly tough road. They're gonna have to be relying on good old Conkey. Conkey and Will Dissly. I think they're gonna have pretty fucking huge games in these games. All right, let's get to. Let's get rid of this. I've got his pro day and some highlights. So this one is an NFL video, but we get to see how he moves here. This is his pro day. This is not the combine. I did watch this one. What I noticed, he's got good feet, but I'm not sure if the studs are right. Like, they're in this facility, and it seems like his feet are slipping. He's good in and out of cuts. Got to watch how far out the elbows are when we're making cuts and moving around. As you see, he's slipping around. The more flaily the arms are during, change turns and stuff like that, the less body control there generally is. So he does pretty good here to keep his arms in. As long as he gets out of that break, gets the look. That could be cleaner, but what are you gonna do? Gonna work on it. Really good feet. Locates the ball. Good hands. Turns upfield. I feel like what they can really work on is his forward momentum at the start of his route. So like he'll probably put on muscle, particularly in the yeah man, he's gonna need some top. He's gonna need some top muscle. Let's just get back here. He's gonna need some top muscle. He's gonna need some leg muscle. Just the way that he's driving right now. So it looks like he has trouble picking up steam at the start. He's like driving into the ground, which you're meant to do, but I feel like it's more vertical than horizontal. That's something they can look at. That's something that can be fixed. Again, he slips on this weird turf, skews the ball, heads upfield. What leg did he catch this on? Just gonna slow this down real quick. Let's just watch it at 0.5. Slips. Gets out of the route. His foot even skid there. Alright. Catches the ball. Step 1, 2, 3. Alright. He does a really good job here of catching the ball, keeping his eye on the ball, and beginning to break off his, I'm going to call this the inside foot, or whatever it is. So he's caught the ball now. Boom, 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 boom. Grabs the ball. He's already cutting upfield. Now, I would like to see the angle a bit more vertical, but generally, you might be trying to get around a dude. But yeah, cutting up on that initial step, really good. Get to see another look at these. See, it's very vertical in his hips, like the again with the slips. I think this is a turf. I think the slips are a turf problem. Goes up, gets that ball. I'd like to see somebody else's runs. This is a different route. It's not as deep, so he's got to be higher up. Let's go look at that body control again. Does the cut. 1, 2, 3. Oh. So when he does these 180 turns, he does a really like kind of deep cut, digs his shoulder in. Obviously, when he gets more muscle, he'll be able to do this with greater ease. I feel like he's going to have a really big season 2. Yep. He cuts upfield. Let's have a look at this step again. Nice. Catches this foot. I'd love to see him already cutting upfield, but he does a really kind of wider turn on it. Digging that shoulder in. Nice. Good fluid movement. Obviously, it can be more fluid. Yeah. Alright, I didn't say that bit. Make a play for the ball, man. Make a play. Solid second round pick. Solid second round pick from what I'm seeing here. Good. Gets his hand over. He's got good speed. He's going to go up to get it. No, it's dropped in a bucket for him. Good tracking. Late hands. Finds the ball. Chases it down. Reels it in. Nice. Yeah, it's a solid second round pick right there. If I could bring up the DK Metcalf ones, I would. I'm kind of not gonna bother, honestly. Not gonna bother. Let's have a look at some of Vlad McConkey's college highlights from 2023 last season. There he is over here. Catches the ball, cuts back inside. Good awareness of the field. Deep ball. He's made himself some space. Again, great awareness of the field. I love how, with this play, I love how he recognizes that this man is like fucking out of town, and he focuses on juking this guy, which is really interesting because he's faced the complete other way, which in turn jukes this guy out, and he gets the extra yardage. He's slippery. Now imagine next season when he puts on some muscle and is more explosive. This is a really good play. This one I want to kind of, and he gets to the outside, gets into the end zone. Let's get back here. So this one is a screen. It's not a screenplay. It's kind of like a bubble screen. Not all the kind of linemen have moved over, so maybe this is just a really push screen or something. Jukes this guy out by tempting him that he's going to cut further into deficit, and this guy bites. Doesn't want to get the end around, just gets cooked. Then he gets to the outside there, good couple of blocks, and then he's got the finishing speed to get in there. Does a big fucking, gets headbutted, that's a bit of CTE. Ducks in, gets away from that man. Like, getting away from 20 even. Like, generally, you get caught by that guy. That's a really shifty fellow. And then he gets a key block here. Push him in for the tutty. Yep. Gotta love... Oh, no, this guy's slow. He's a slow dude. Strong, though. Where would he be? I guess this is him. Woof. Stop on a dime with the spin. Keeps his toes together. Great body control there. Picks up the extra yardage. Should have been a loss of yardage. And he's going deep again. Right in traffic. Secures the ball. Possession catch. Goes to the ground. For the touchdown. Love that. Now he's up at the top of the screen. Oh, I'd like to see his in cut there. Again, shifty fellow. He's got really good awareness of the field. We're going to keep an eye out on this guy because this guy is... He's electric. He is electric. Alright, now the last thing that I want to do this week, if we bring up the agenda, is going to talk about Thursday Night Football. Just going to do a quick pick. Nothing crazy. It's not going to be a long segment. Show's been going for 40 minutes, so yeah, let's get this moving. Schedule for week 13. Friday. Oh my god. We got 3 games. We've got 3 games. 3 games for TNF. Let's fucking go. Be watching Green Bay, Miami. That's at a really good time for me. Chicago, Detroit. That's going to be... If Chicago has been doing what they've been doing, that's going to be a good game. Dallas versus New York. I've been calling this thing a shit show forever. But the way that Dallas won last week, they're like special teams getting 2 touchdowns. Fucking huge. Absolutely fucking huge. It's going to be an interesting game. You got essentially a backup versus a backup. Don't know if that's worth watching. Doesn't really mean a whole lot within that division. It's actually a bit of a throwaway game. Bit of a throwaway game. Would like to have a talk about maybe the New York Giants kind of head office, and what the fuck's going on with them? They can draft good players, but you can't do anything with these players. So what's going on? What is going on? And to talk about Daniel Jones, I think so. He should have been cleared on waiver. He should have been cleared on waiver, which means he can get picked up by a team, I believe. Let's have a quick look at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Here we go. Becoming a free agent. And that's on ESPN. We're reading about it on ESPN anyway. Alright. Let's hope this isn't a video. Don't be a video. Oh, God damn it. If this is the segment that I watched from Pat McAfee. I mean, like, essentially what Adam Schefter said on Pat's show is that once he clears waivers, you're going to have a starting quarterback available for like $375,000 for the rest of the year. You don't have to pay off his contract. And I think it also can turn into a compensatory pick. So you get a pick, you get a starting quarterback for $375,000 for the rest of the year. A couple of teams could use a starting quarterback or even a quarterback as a backup. We don't know what the situation was like in New York. Like, a couple of players have gotten out of New York and have just absolutely excelled. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, this game has some implications further down the line for Chicago because they've started rolling now that they've got their new offensive coordinator, or at least they fired their old offensive coordinator. Caleb Williams is not turning over the ball. He did not throw an interception against Green Bay or Minnesota in the last 2 weeks. Two very high turnover defenses. So that's looking up. This is a divisional. Detroit has been slapping the shit out of people, and this one is in Detroit. I'm gonna hope Chicago can really like just fucking ball out and make this a real divisional game. Hopefully win it, maybe by a field goal or something like that. Then we've got this shit show of a game, and then we've got Miami and Green Bay. This is important for both of these teams to win. This one means a lot for both teams. Miami is trying to get themselves back into playoff contention right now. What am I doing here? I'm looking for the standings. The amount of times that we look at this, 6. So currently they're not in the playoffs. They are 1 win away, right? So they really want to win out, and Green Bay is sitting here, right? But this is a tough division, so it's just fucking slippery slope. This division's a slippery slope, and so is this one. So Dolphins trying to make a run, Packers trying to hold strong. This is a meaningful football game for both teams. I'd watch this one. I will be watching it. I'll be up at this time. Yeah, and then we'll probably do a review of it later that day or whatever, on the Friday night. No, that'll be Friday night. So on Saturday we'll go over it. Yeah, cool. On Saturday we'll go over this game. And being a Packers fan, I will have quite a bit to talk about probably. Anyway, guys, that was the Sean Show, episode 26. I do appreciate you being here. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Let's get to 27. Got a few segments that I want to do. Got to make this production a whole lot better. So keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out on other platforms for us coming too, and might try to start working on maybe X or something like that, just to get this thing into full effect. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Not today though. We were finishing the show today. Keep an eye out for our PI discussion. 1, about the refs, and 2, maybe what players can do to get more PIs, and maybe a discussion on should that be a thing. Anyway, guys, appreciate you. Go out there, appreciate somebody that you love. Take care, and peace out.